Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you are subscribed. If not, you can subscribe. Okay, so today's video is going to be about how to pass your cosmetology state board. And you guys may not know this about me, but I went through cosmetology school. I have my license and I'm starting in July at a salon and I'm very excited. When I was taking my state board, I was searching YouTube and I could just not find a video that was helpful tips about you know, what do I need to prepare? How do I pass this test? I couldn't find anything. I mean, I found a few, but nothing was really good for me. So I really wanted to make this video because I feel like there's a lot of people in my situation that probably feel the same way. And you know, Louie. Okay, anyways, so there's two parts to your cosmetology state board exam. There's a practical, which is hands-on, and then there's a written, which is obviously you take the test. But if you're watching this video to pass, you probably already know that. Anyways, for my practical, I was actually really nervous about it, but then it was also the easier part because you already know what you're doing. With the theory part, it's you don't know what you're going to test on. But with the practical, you literally have the paper in front of you that tells you exactly step by step what you're supposed to be doing. So seriously, print out the the instruction sheet. I don't know what it's called, but print out that and it tells you step by step what you're supposed to do, how long you have, time yourself. We did a lot of drills at my school where we were timed and we would practice, see how close we got. Oh, and a big thing, if you do not finish a task, that does not mean you fail. Because I know a lot of people think oh crap, I didn't finish the haircut, I just failed. No, I didn't finish my haircut and I passed. Make sure all your stuff is labeled correctly because I know the girl that was grading me was a big stickler. Every time I put something out, she was like, what does that say? And I was like, hope it's right, my teacher did it, I don't know. Sanitation is the biggest thing. Literally, my hands were so dry because all I did was sanitize that entire time. And I thought I would forget to sanitize because when I was in school, I didn't sanitize like I was supposed to. You know, I'm a kid. I mean, I didn't sanitize every time I had to because I'm working with my mannequin, who really cares? But I thought I would forget in state board, but literally you are so nervous that all you want to do is sanitize. And also, okay, this is not going to be for everyone, but for me, I thought state board was going to be super official. And for the practical, I was literally in a hotel lounge with these raggedy old brown tables that you see at some yard sale. And that's what I put my mannequin on. And in the first setup where you're supposed to put everything out and you have 10 minutes, I don't remember, 10, 15 minutes. She let us do some of the stuff before we even started. And I was like, well, that's great. And it was just not as official as I thought. Now, on the other hand, the theory was crazy. We took ours on separate days, and if you can, I highly recommend that because it was nice to only have to focus on one thing, just focus on the practical or just focus on the theory. If I had to take them all in one day, I honestly don't think I would have done as well as I did. My brain would have been too overloaded that I wouldn't have known. But a lot of people do it in the same day and they pass. So honestly, that's just a personal preference thing. I like to only have one thing on my plate at a time. But if you don't care that much, then you do them all in one day. Seriously, don't freak out if you messed up because it does not mean you failed. You can definitely get some stuff wrong and still pass. It's okay. I definitely did some things wrong. Blood exposure, I have no idea what I was doing. I literally was just guessing. I was I don't know, let me dab my finger, put a band-aid on it. I have no idea. Also, all the glove things were confusing. Do I leave my gloves on? Do I take them off when I start the next service? What do I do? I don't know. A lot of the things I was kind of just guessing and looking around because I thought we were going to be secluded, but I was with all my friends. We were all together. I could watch everyone. So on the things, there are a couple things that you do by yourself, all the eyebrow stuff you do by yourself. They come and watch you. The virgin hair relaxer you do by yourself, and those are stressful. But if you're not the first one, then you can watch everyone else, and that's very helpful. But if you're the first one, kind of sucks because I was the first one for the perm, like when you saturate it, because I finished first like a dummy. Like, I didn't know I was gonna have to go first, so I finished first. Like, come on. But I finished first, and then I had to saturate it, and like honestly didn't know what I was doing. I still passed, so it's fine. But seriously, don't stress that much about that. The practical, as long as you sanitize and do the gist correctly, then I think you won't have any problems. Seriously, don't stress that one, because you can literally have the sheet in front of you telling you exactly what to do, so just study that. Okay, now on to theory. I thought the theory was going to be so hard. I took, if you have My Lady Pro, like the online thing, the comprehensive test is very helpful. So I took like all of the chapter reviews, chapter tests, and there's an actual comprehensive test that is 100 questions. So you can take it as many times as you want. It randomizes the questions, it gives it new questions. It basically just takes all the reviews and puts them into one test. And that was very, very helpful. But when I was taking that, I was like, man, there is so much stuff that I don't know. It really stressed me out. I was really worried about that test, like, but I really didn't need to be. So I think you guys should really prepare, like really, you want to aim for a 75 or higher when you take those tests. Do Quizlet. Quizlet helps, like looking up the chapters and doing Quizlet. There's like games on Quizlet, tests on Quizlet, like you can do it. There's also Jeopardy games we used to play. Like, there's a lot of stuff that can help you prepare for that. So I would do that. But I want to stress that it was not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I would have liked to have known that before I went in there, stressing so hard. Like, it was crazy. So first of all, let me tell you my experience. So this was about 2 weeks after we took the practical. So I already took the practical, so I was like, this theory, all I have to do is pass it and I will get my license. Like, this is a big deal. Like, I was really stressed because I was like, I cannot fail this. I was taking comprehensive tests the whole way up there, the whole hour drive. Like, oh my God, I was so stressed. And then we get there, and this place is definitely different from the other place. And this is just my experience. You guys might not even be the same, but it was a different place, and it was very, very official. So that just made it even more scary. There was literally a metal detector, you guys. Like, we had to empty all our pockets, put them in a locked locker. Then we had to literally like raise your sleeve, raise your like pant leg, empty your pockets like in front of them. Like, they literally put us through a freaking metal detector thing. And I was like, oh crap, this is about to be freaking hard. Like, we sat down, they even put our little fingerprint in. It was crazy. So that made me twice as nervous. Love that, right? So I was definitely way more nervous. And then I sit down to take the test, and I thought it was like 110 questions. It ended up being 120. Not a big deal. I like having more questions because that means more questions you can miss. So I was pretty happy about that. Literally, I thought the test was easy. And that's not even like, you know, patting myself on the back. Like, I'm so smart. Like, I'm not that smart. And I thought the test was easy. Now, the tests are probably like, you know, different every time. But honestly, you don't need to stress that much. There was a lot of things about like state board regulations, which I did not know. And I had to guess on all of them. But I still ended up passing. So I guess I knew enough. So like, know your state board regulations. Definitely know like the chemical aspect of hair stuff. Like the chemical aspects of your hair, of the stuff you put into your hair, like all the chemical thingies. Also, know your sanitation practices and know the properties of hair. Like, what is the hair made of? And honestly, most of it was kind of common sense. That's what I love about cosmetology. You kind of know most of it already. Like, none of the hard stuff like thiogalactic acid, like whatever that, hygalactic, I don't even know. All the perm stuff, none of that was even in there. And your test could be different, so I'm not saying don't study that. Please study that, because this is just my experience. Yours might be totally different, but seriously, don't stress it so much. Because I stressed both my tests, and I really did need to. It got my anxiety up for no reason, because neither one was that bad. Now, the theory, it's great because they tell you the day of. You don't have to be sitting there stressing it. Now, the practical, I had to wait 7 to 9 business days. It was like a week and a half before we knew, and I was stressing so much. And I found out at school, and I was like, I don't want to open this right now because what if I failed? I'm gonna be sitting here like boohoo crying, and nobody in my cafeteria wants to see that. So like, let me just like not open it. So but then all my like friends started texting in the group chat, and they were like, I passed. And I was like, oh, well let me open it, because like I feel like we're all on the same level, you know. And I passed with like an 86, or it might have been an 85. 86? I don't know. I don't remember my grade. It was an 80 something. Literally everyone in my class passed, and we had a rough year. Like, we had a teacher change, and we found out that we were doing things wrong halfway through it, and like all of us passed. So okay, and I also want to talk about how to get a job. So I just graduated high school about a month ago, and in a couple weeks I will be starting my first job at a salon, and I'm very excited. I do have a couple tips on like what salons to work at, like what type of salon, because starting out, you do not want to go booth rent unless you already have a million clients and you know you can pay that booth rent, because booth rent easily $75 to $100 a week, and if you're barely making $75 a week, you do not want to be paying booth rent because you're going to make absolutely no money. So my salon offers commission, and I think that is the best for anyone starting out. It means like your boss takes a percentage of the money you make. So if you don't make that much money, it means you're not giving them that much money. I feel like it's just better if you're not making a lot of money, and that's just my personal opinion. If you think you're gonna make a lot and that booth rent will be good for you, go to booth rent. But I think that commission or percentage is better for starting out. I would not tell you guys to go hourly, because I think that is a complete ripoff. Is that the word? I don't know. Because if you're doing a service, hold on, my battery. If you're doing a service that maybe costs $50 to $70, and then you're getting paid hourly $12, it took you an hour to do that hair service and you could have made $70, but because you're doing hourly, you just made $12. What sense does that make? That doesn't make any sense. So do not go hourly, in my opinion. If you're cool with just getting, you know, it's just like a job, you know, like you're working at Bojangles, you know. If you're fine with that for your salon job, go ahead. Me personally, I would rather make all the money that I can, because I'm doing the work. Like, I don't want to just give the person I'm working for all that money. Like, literally they just got 60 bucks and I got 10, because that's all I make an hour. I don't think that's worth it, but that's just my opinion. You do what you want to do. So those are all my tips for how to pass state board, and those are my tips on getting a job at a salon. If you're starting a job at a salon, good for you. If you're going to take your state board, good luck, and I hope you pass. If you went to beauty school and you passed or you didn't, comment down below. Tell me your experience. Tell me if my tips were helpful. Tell me if you have any tips, because I'm sure your tips could help someone else. So if you have any tips, leave them down below as well. I just would have really liked a video like this when I was going to take mine, so that's why I wanted to make it. Like I said, this is just my experience. These are my tips. It might not be the same for you, so still study as much as you can and get all the knowledge that you can, because you can never have too much knowledge. So good luck, and thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you've never seen me before and you like me. I like to post beauty videos because that's what I like to do, and right now I'm having a lot of summer videos that I want to film, so stay tuned for that. Bye guys!